You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Days of Our Lives fans, I've got your early weekly spoilers for July 7th through 11th. Sophia dumps her baby and Gwen's back for trouble. It's Melinda from Soap Dirt. If you're not following, please reach down, click that subscribe button. And as we always do on early edition day, we start with what is coming the rest of this week. So on Wednesday, July 2nd, Sophia goes into labor. On Tuesday, we saw her water break, but it's going to move fast, which is pretty rare for her first pregnancy, but she is going to give birth all alone in her room. Her family has gone out to dinner and a movie. So Tate's gone. She's completely alone with nobody around. And Sophia flips out and says nobody can see her newborn daughter. And Sophia takes her infant to the firehouse baby drop box and leaves her little girl there. Javi is going to bring the baby home to show Leo, and there's a letter written by the mother, Sophia, but obviously they don't know that because she didn't sign it, saying she didn't want to give her up and did it out of love. Javi is also going to take the baby to the hospital for Kayla to check her out, and Javi says the little girl was left in the safe haven box at the Salem Fire Department. Julie gets some news from Steve, and it could be Julie hearing about her heirloom necklace from Steve. Maybe he's found it. Remember, Jen's working the case too. She's looking through some insurance contacts she said she had. Sarah's frustrated by Xander pushing about Victoria and talks to Maggie about it, venting to her mom all her anger. Sarah needs comfort from her mama Maggie and gets it. On Thursday, July 3rd, we've got Tate and Holly kissing and making up. They've reunited and Sophia is quite upset about it. This is a bad week. She just gave birth and then her baby daddy's, making up with his girlfriend. Tate's troubles with Sophia may be far from over because she's targeting Holly this summer. Sophia also calls on Melinda for help, and I think Sophia may tell Melinda she dumped the baby at the fire station. Sophia is begging her for help. So this week, Sophia's telling Tate that when she gave birth, that the adoptive parents were there because she lied and told him she had a lawyer. And she says they wanted to take the baby girl right away, so she let them. Tate's going to be a little upset about that he didn't get to see his daughter. And Sophia may ask unscrupulous Melinda to fake adoption papers, but I think Tate's going to be suspicious if he hears about the abandoned baby. And of course, Melinda could wind up in trouble if she does this, but she is going to want to help Sophia. Xander and Maggie get into it about his increasingly frequent arguments with Sarah about their daughter, Victoria. Maggie soon vows to Xander that she owes it to Victor's memory to stop Xander, but I think this may be less about custody and more about Titan because he has a new plot cooked up with Philip, who is covering for him on that brutal, brutal beating. Sarah is increasingly leaning on Brady Black. Ooh la la. We are going to see those two lip locking very soon. Sarah is going to kiss Brady to make Xander jealous. So jealous, in fact, he's going to punch Brady in the face because Sarah sees Xander with another woman, Gabby, at the bistro. And this may be in the next couple of weeks. We're not sure of the date. So we'll see how close Brady and Sarah get before all is said and done and how close Xander and Gabby get. Plus, Xander's got an ex coming to town. We're going to talk about that in the next week's section. On Friday, July 4th, it is Independence Day in Salem. We have a brand new episode on July 4th. We're going to have some literal fireworks in the sky and also for some couples, it seems. So Stephanie and Alex are spending time together. He has a big idea for her. That's the same day it looks like that Kate is asking Stephanie if she wrote the dirty book One Stormy Night. So we'll see. They are supposed to be watching the fireworks together. This could be Friday. It could be into next week. And Alex finally drops the L word on Stephanie. Will she tell Alex that she loves him too? We'll see. Brady and Kristen talk to Marlena. I'm sure it's about Rachel now that Johnny has been arrested, arraigned, and is out on bail because of the murder charges. They know Rachel may have to testify, and And we, of course, know from the promo for Summer, during the trial, both Rachel and Marlena will be put on the stand by DA Beth Black. Chanel and Abe share a nice stepfather-daughter moment. She is worried about Johnny's arrest and EJ being back in Johnny's life and his lawyer for the attempted murder trial. But at least Johnny got bail, and at least Chanel got to pay it and smirk at EJ about it. Paulina wants Belle to promise her something. Obviously, it's about the trial. EJ actually wants Belle off the case because of a conflict of interest, which is ironic given his own conflict of interest representing Johnny. But, you know, the DA is prosecuting a case against her nephew. That's what Johnny is. And the victim is her boyfriend, who, of course, is repping the accused. So this is just an insane thing that would never happen in real life. So Belle will prosecute the case over EJ's objections, and that means it's going to be Belle versus EJ as they face off as lawyers in court. And if you don't remember, he is the former dirty DA, and she got his job. Chanel thinks having EJ around is Johnny making a deal with the devil, and she doesn't like that his dad is his lawyer. Also, Bella sent the memory card this week. Not sure what day she gets it or who sends it to the DA, but of course she's going to have to tell EJ because he's the defense lawyer repping Johnny. And I just wonder if there's some reason that EJ might have sent it to Belle, because last we saw it was in his possession. The week of July 7th through the 11th, Gwen Rizchek returns to Salem. She's got a new short hairdo and an agenda. She is supposed to be in town on Monday. And it looks like she might actually be conspiring with EJ to try and get Demara back from Titan. Plus, I do wonder if Gwen has any info about Stefan, the missing Demara, because Gwen left Salem heading for Alamania to try and get cash from her cheating husband, Dimitri's family. Vivian's the one that actually sent Stefan to Alamania when she kidnapped him. And we did hear from our leaker that Gwen may be working with Vivian as well. So we'll see if that manifests. Look for Gwen to have her eye on Xander as well. Hurricane Sammy is back in Salem soon. She owes Marlena a visit to commiserate with her mom about losing her soulmate, John. Plus, Sammy drops in on EJ and is probably upset about Belle still seeing EJ and that Belle is prosecuting her son Johnny, and Sammy may threaten EJ if he doesn't get him acquitted. She's going to ruin his life as if she hasn't tried to ruin it before. Plus, Sammy's son Johnny really needs her. We're going to soon see Holly and Ari kidnapped by Doug 3's debt collectors because they made new threats this week. That's why Doug 3 chased Ari away, which upset her, but he's just trying to save her and Holly both. Plus, Sophia is super salty about Holly and Tate reuniting, and Sophia's lies about abandoning her and Tate's baby are going to catch up with her. The big question is, of course, who is going to wind up with Sophia and Tate's baby girl? Will Javi and Leo try and keep the baby and foster or adopt her? Chanel may try and adopt her despite Johnny's trial. Kat is working on her ISA mission next week while Chad keeps getting closer to her. He can't just stay away. And more concerns about what Rachel really saw that night and her mental health when the little girl seems increasingly stressed out. Of course, Johnny didn't shoot EJ, so the killer's at large, but I think the killer's actually very small. Will Rachel confess to Marlena, or will her grandma hypnotize her and get the truth?
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.